Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Monday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Glenora Shipura. In the news tonight, this morning, the Ministry of Health and Social Services announced its procurement of 4 trucks and 420 wheelchairs valued at $2 million in Oshoarongo. During his keynote address, the Health Minister Kalumbi Shangula said his visit is mainly to open the National Pharmaceutical Forum, but also to inform the public of the procurement for the central medical stores in order to improve capacity for the transportation and distribution of pharmaceuticals and clinical supplies across the country. This video is by Elizabeth Joseph.
Yes.
A court battle is looming for this evening after Menzies Aviation Namibia, which has been ordered by the court to hand over the ground handling duties at Hosea Kutako Airport to Paragon Aviations, decided to bring an urgent application to court at 5 p.m. this afternoon. Menzies, an international company with a Namibian operation, was ordered to hand over all the necessary tools and duties to Paragon by no later than 9 p.m. this evening. The company accuses Paragon of lacking capacity for the job and insists the order to hand over the operations is practically unachievable and jeopardizes the safety and security of operations at the airport. Paragon will challenge today's court challenge. Menzies made the claim in a statement issued after the Apex Supreme Court ruling on Friday, after losing a court appeal it had lodged against an eviction order granted by the High Court of Namibia during the latter part of 2022 in the matter between itself and Paragon. Menzies has been providing ground handling services since 2014. Menzies failed in its appeal application against the Namibia Airports Company, NAC, in the Supreme Court against NAC's request for Menzies to vacate the premises so that Paragon can take over the operations. Although we cannot comment on ongoing litigation, but we made it clear to NAC and to the new entity on whose behalf the eviction was sought and granted that the other ongoing court proceedings filed by Menzies to set aside the contract that was awarded to our competitor, which lacked experience and capacity to render the required services, will continue until all of Menzies' rights are obtained. Menzies Vice President for Commercial and Business Development in Namibia and South Africa, Ian van Rooyen, said, responding to the claims yesterday, Paragon co-founder Desmond Amuniela accused Menzies of possessing an entitlement syndrome. We are certified by all relevant authorities. Menzies is in no position to rate us. They never even conducted an inspection on us. So how can they conclude we do not have experience? He questioned. Amuniela further said it is clear that Menzies is undermining Namibians. Funny enough, most of their workers are Namibians, just like ours. If Namibians are so incapable, then why are most of their workers not from abroad? In our next story, Shifeta said gay accusations caused damage to his family. Oshakati Tourism Minister Pohamba Shifeta on Monday said the people accusing him of being gay have caused significant damage to his family setup and his children and his children are catching the wrath as well. Shifeta, in audio notes widely circulated, said he will decisively deal with people accusing him of being gay. The minister told Namibian Sun in a telephonic interview that the rumors are getting too much and him and his family are being affected by it. Questioned on whether he was not inciting violence against the gay community, Shifeta said he will no longer be silent on the accusations, saying they are damaging and driven by people with a hidden agenda. I am not inciting violence. I have looked at it, and so many times people have tried to defame my character. It is getting too much. We also have families. This is a self-defense case. People are lenient when their names are not dragged in the mud, he said. Shifeta said Namibian people should not allow those who identify as gay to fabricate information about others just to drive their agenda. They should stop. People think politicians are cowards, and we are not that. Sodomy is a crime, and further crime on this is my dignity, he stressed. Shifeta said he has an 83-year-old aunt who got sick for about a week after hearing about the rumors. He said there are people who are jealous and those who envy and don't sleep. Now, Shifeta said during the elections campaign for last year, he was also accused of using a 1-month-old baby heart and liver to consult traditional healers so he could be the SWAPO party presidential candidate. Shifeta said investigations were done and those who brought it to social media deleted it. I have nothing to do with gay people, and I cannot have gay people accusing me of such nonsense. Gayness in Namibia is a crime and they are supposed to be arrested. I will walk around with my knop-kerry. It is not a threat, but I am angry. This person has people behind him. If the police are not doing anything, I will do something, he said. Moving on to our next story. Nampower power cuts rolled over to August. Nampower will not cut the power supply to regional electricity distributors and local authorities until the end of August, following discussions with the Ministry of Finance and Public Enterprises, it said in a statement. The Nampower Board of Directors has resolved to put Nampower's plan to disconnect defaulting customers in abeyance until the end of August 2023. As such, the public is hereby informed that the disconnections will no longer continue until end of August 2023. The Nampower statement said that the bulk energy supplier called on defaulting customers to settle their accounts. Nampower is once again calling on its defaulting customers to pay their dues to enable the company to continue delivering on its mandate, that of ensuring security of supply to the country, Nampower said. The opening of the clinic soccer in Walvis Bay for primary schools under the Real Madrid Foundation. Now, David Khawasap, the primary school's convener, welcomed future ballers to the foundation. This video is by Frida Moloto.
Yeah, Mr. David Khawasap. I am from Dennis High School. Currently, the under 13 or the primary school soccer convener nationally. So I am also helping out with this program currently here, assisting.
Okay, how are the preparations going, or how did the preparations go?
Yeah, yes, as of now, we started off. Our planning went well. We had already a meeting yesterday. So the hosts themselves, Real Madrid, are ready. They plan for it. Yeah, we are just busy with the setup, and then after that, the opening will then continue.
What is your name?
My name is Selma Shombe.
Okay, how are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying it?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what did you learn so far?
I learned how to kick a ball, how to defend, and how to score goals.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Joseph. I am KPS grade 5 and I'm enjoying it. Like I'm dreaming. I don't know what to say. But it's really fun when we are learning.
Powerline Africa celebrates completion of overhead power cable system of 400 kilovolts. We get into this story after the break.
to another exciting episode of Oneuptwo. Julle is die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel moontlik kan byt.
Getting into our story of the day, Powerline Africa is a company active in the electricity supply industry, specializing in turnkey contracting and project management. The company, which is fully Namibian owned, celebrated the completion of an overhead power cable system of 400 kilovolts from Aus to Kharuz this weekend at Farm Success. This video is by Alberta Greg.
Powerline Africa has handed over 287 kilometers of 400 kilovolt electricity transmission line to NamPower. At a celebration of completion of the project at Farm Success over the weekend, Richard Himmel said it was an honor for Powerline Africa to learn from NamPower, take that knowledge out of the country, and bring it back to build this power line. Well done, he told employees of the company he has spent his life building up.
Maar een ding sal julle nie vergeet. Dis die hoofding. En ek hamer daarop. Alles wat ek gedoen het ek vir Namibië gedoen.
Powerline Africa is a wholly Namibian-owned company able to provide turnkey solutions and innovation in the power distribution industry in the SADC region. At the celebration, NamPower's senior transmission engineer Martin van der Merwe said the achievement will impact the whole country.
It has a massive impact on us as a country. It is something to be very proud of. Just like the numbers, 287 kilometers, 556 hours.
Volker Rogmeyer, representing the contractors, highlighted that the asset can now be handed over to NamPower, which will be able to electrify the line and connect it to the national grid and start making profit from it within a month. Joan Erlang, Powerline Africa site manager, spoke of how the massive undertaking gained momentum soon after the signing of the $630 million contract on 16 April 2021.
So, the beginning, 16 April 2021, contract signage. Totaal 11 containers, 180 tente en 150 nuwe aanstellings.
Marco Himmel said that with opportunity must come responsibility to ensure success.
That opportunity without responsibility results in failure.
Francois Skumbi, Powerline Africa CEO, said that over the last 2 years, Powerline Africa has established 500 kilometers of 400 kilovolt transmission lines, including the Juno to Khomas project finished with Eskom in South Africa.
For me, these principles have allowed us to compete and feature on the international front throughout Africa, forcing us always to be one step ahead through turnkey solutions. And that's a concept that was originally ingrained in us by NamPower, successfully obtaining ISO certification and maintaining that certification. They say it's easy to get an A+, but to keep that A+ is even more difficult.
Osino's Twin Hills could produce gold by 2025. We expand on this story in our economic news after the break.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Getting into our economic news, Osino Resources Corporation says it will make a fully financed construction decision regarding its Twin Hills Gold project near Karibib by the end of this year, following pleasing results of the definitive feasibility study. Issuing a statement today, Osino said Twin Hills is being advanced rapidly through accelerated expansion, drilling, and fast-tracked development studies. Heye Duan, Osino's co-founder, president, and CEO, commented, "We are very pleased with the results of this DFS, which confirms Twin Hills as a technically simple, long-life, and low-cost gold project with very strong economics and plenty of upside. Now that the DFS has been completed, we will immediately commence with detailed engineering, and our vision is to reach a fully financed construction decision by the end of 2023. The result of this DFS demonstrates that Twin Hills is a very robust cash-generative project which will deliver outstanding returns to shareholders once it goes into production, hopefully towards the end of 2025 or early 2026. Let's take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.4 and against the euro at 20.13. $2 gets you 1 Chinese yuan. Platinum went down 1.42%. Brent crude oil also went down 2.98%, trading at $72.38 per barrel. After the break, we get into your international news. Do stay with us.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news.
Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
What is a lethal dose of fentanyl is one of the many phone searches that investigators say were made by Kuri Richens, a Utah widow accused of killing her husband before she authored a children's book about grief. The new details on the widow's alleged search history emerged as part of the prosecution's case against Richens, 33, who will be in a Park City, Utah court Monday for a detention hearing. A judge is expected to decide if she should be released or remain in custody pending the outcome of her trial. Prosecutors allege she killed Eric Richens, her husband of 9 years, with a lethal dose of fentanyl. She faces charges of criminal homicide, aggravated murder, and 3 counts of possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. She has not yet entered a plea. The documents released on Friday also give insight into Richens' defense. Her attorneys argue there is no substantial evidence to support the charges and say she should be released as she awaits trial. Among the details released in the documents are internet searches investigators say were found in Richens' phone that were described by prosecutors as incriminating. After the break, we get into the weather predictions. Do stay with us.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Let's take a look at the weather predictions. Starting out with the overall predictions over the country. Now, the north is warm with maximum temperatures around 30 degrees Celsius. The weather is clear with no rain. The wind is moderate. Central parts are cooler than the north with maximum temperatures in the mid-20s. Like the north, the weather is clear and there's no rain. The wind is a bit stronger here than in the north. The south is the coolest region with maximum temperatures around 20 degrees. The weather is clear with no rain, but the wind is the strongest here compared to other regions. The coastal is mild with maximum temperatures in the low 20s. There's no rain and the wind is moderate. It's more humid here due to proximity to the ocean. In all regions, it's going to be sunny day with zero rain. Now let's expand on these predictions. Katima can expect a minimum of 10 degrees with a maximum of 29 degrees, while Oshakati can expect a minimum of 10 degrees with a maximum of 27 degrees. Hendy's Bay can expect a minimum of 12 degrees with a maximum of 20 degrees, while Walvis Bay can expect a minimum of 12 degrees with a maximum of 20 degrees as well, while Rehoboth can expect a minimum of 4 degrees and a maximum of 20 degrees. After the break, we get into the sports news.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhom.na.
Let's take a look at the sports news, courtesy of Sports Rep.
And good evening, viewers. Well, today's Sunset News is brought to you by SportRap. Blue Bulls rugby president Willem Strauss and Blue Bulls CEO Edgar Rathbone attended a press conference in Windhoek today to announce that the Pretoria franchise will visit Windhoek on 26 August to play against Namibia. The Namibia karate team, who left last week to participate at the African Union Sports Council Region 5 Karate Championship in Harare, Zimbabwe, have owned up to their promise to come home bearing medals, while the team of 56 athletes scooped a total of 42 medals, of which 4 are gold, 14 silver and 24 bronze. FNB Kudus are still in the lead after week 7 of Namibian Rugby Union's Premier League as they beat Unam. Host Wanderers barely survived a determined onslaught from fierce rivals United before clinching a narrow 33-30 win. Well, that's it from us from SportRap. It is good night.
You are watching Sunset News. Let's take a look at the highlights from today's broadcast. A court battle is looming for this evening after Menzies Aviation, which has been ordered by the court to hand over the ground handling duties at Hosea Kutako Airport to Paragon Aviation, decided to bring an urgent application to court at 5 p.m. this afternoon. Menzies, an international company with a Namibian operation, was ordered to hand over all the necessary tools and duties to Paragon by no later than 9 p.m. this evening. Shifeta said Gay's accusation caused damage to his family. Oshakati Tourism Minister Buhamba Shifeta on Monday said the people accusing him of being gay have caused significant damage to his family's setup, and his children are catching the wrath as well. NAM power cards rolled over to August. NamPower will not cut the power supply to regional electricity distributors and local authorities until the end of August, following discussions with the Ministry of Finance and Public Enterprises, it said in a statement. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneuptwo.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday and on Sundays from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenora Shipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.